We'll call the meeting to order. It is 6:02. I'll go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Of the United States of America. Before we go into the roll call, some information just came to us that one of our previous board members had recently lost his life. So I was going to see if we can take a moment of silence for previous board member, Mr. Daniel Sermian. So if you could please observe with me. Thank you. Alrighty. Move on to roll call. Let me see. Treasurer Gallardo.
Here.
Member Avalos.
Here.
Member Herrera.
Here.
Member Alanis is not here. It should be on the deal, but absent in terms of quorum. And then Member Rodriguez, I'm here. We have 4. Quorum is established. We'll move on to public comments. This is an opportunity for members of the public, includes those members on Zoom, to address the board on any matter related to the commission that is not listed on the agenda. Comments will be limited to no more than 3 minutes. Is there anybody present that would like to make a public comment?
Hi. Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth. I'm here with Fresno LAFCO. I had been attempting to contact the district regarding an update to municipal service reviews for hospital districts, specifically the Selma Healthcare District. I'm really here to establish at least a district representative for the MSR process. I had contacted the general email, the admin sec at Selma Healthcare, and I haven't received a response. So I'm just here to establish a contact person.
I have a feeling I mixed you up with the county because I responded to the county and I thought I'd responded to the same. I get a forward from those emails.
Okay.
You said you were requesting what specifically?
We do a MSR questionnaire. That's something that I had sent also. I sent through mail as well. We are independent from the county, so I can see how it gets mixed up. Our emails are also from the counties.
Okay, so I responded to one part. My apologies for
No worries.
lacking of the report. Yeah, we can definitely establish and make sure that we respond to whatever is necessary. Because okay, that admin secretary email right now forwards to me because we don't have a contracted administrative secretary at the moment. So I'm receiving those emails. Like I said, my apologies. I thought I responded and did because I did a whole bunch of other things for the county recently.
Yeah, no worries. I'll send a follow-up email. That way you have my contact information.
And you said it'll have your name, Lizbeth, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. I will look for that name specifically.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
1057 Mill Street, Rose Robertson. I just want to applaud you guys for giving out the life jackets. It was a $5,000 of life jackets and also $5,000 of helmets, bike helmets, which will coincide with the chief of police tomorrow's presentation. So that's really good. Have they been actually allocated out to the citizens of Selma, or when do you guys have plan on distributing them out to the citizens of Selma, the kids?
Unfortunately, we've been trying to do it I've been trying to have the life jackets available at our swim teams, but my schedule conflicted with the times that we were able to this weekend. So we're just basically, as soon as we can get to one of our community events, and then I was gonna also have some dropped off at the police station with Chief Alcaraz for them to do it just like a public distribution as well. So besides our swim times from here on out on the weekends, and if there's any, is there any left? Yeah, there's like a few weekends left. Besides those times, they'll be available. And if the ones that are left at the station run out, I will have the remaining ones to I'll contact or whoever it is to get them distributed.
Great, thank you.
They're all still there.
Good evening. I just wanted to kind of clarify on that too as well. Thank you guys all for the swim program. It's been going great this summer. Our lifeguards have been going through it every week. We've been doing online. It's been going through really well. Everyone gets through the gates pretty quickly this year. And so just wanted to say thank you for that. And then, yeah, Matt, whenever you want to just reach out to me this week, we can organize a time this weekend for me and my staff to help organize getting those out to the public.
Yeah, you got it. Appreciate it. Are there any other public comments in here?
Good evening, Brian Ramirez. I just want to thank you guys for looking out for the community and providing services for those in need, not only just in need, but the community as a whole, especially the kids, like Ms. Robertson said, the life jackets and the helmets, because we've unfortunately have had accidents, and now with summer coming along, the kids will be heading out to the lake. So hopefully those life jackets will save lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any others in the in here physically? Is there anybody on Zoom that's raising their hand? Nobody? Okay, I'll give them a chance if they want to or if anybody's not wanting to. If you do want to speak, just hit the little raise your hand button or unmute yourself, I guess. Or I think you need to be or asked to be unmuted. Okay, cool. Alrighty. With that, we'll move on. Any potential conflicts of interest? Any board member who has a potential conflict of interest may now identify the item and recuse themselves from discussing and voting on the matter. Anybody?
I just have one concern on action item number 1. Due to my schedule, I haven't been part of any of the discussions or meetings. I believe, was there a closed session on that topic?
No.
No, so I haven't missed anything.
No. It was just to this point, it would just be the ad hoc bringing forward the candidate that they suggest for the position. So we'll be able to ask questions or anything right now during the item.
Okay.
So there are no conflicts of interest? Alrighty. Moving on to the approval of past minutes. So I have the notes for those minutes, but they are nowhere near ready to be presented for approval. So in the interest of not sending out minutes that are not presentable, we need to approve those at a different meeting. They're not ready to be approved at this moment. We don't need to table those, do we? It's just not approving at the moment?
Yeah.
Deciding not to, yeah.
No action.
Figured. Okay. Moving on, item 7.1, the financial report. Treasurer Gallardo will provide a financial report. And I have a supplemental document as well.
Okay, so as of today's balance, there's $590,733.28. From our last report, we ended on check number 1794. So I'm starting with check number 1795 of June 2026. Check 1795 was written to Las Reyes Foods Concept Incorporation for the senior meals that were grant approved by the Selma Healthcare District up to $5,000 for meal number 1, $312.38. June check 1796 was to Lorraine Avalos for a reimbursement for additional servings for that same meal. For the senior meal, there was additional servings that needed to be added. So that amount came out to $218.01, leaving a balance of $4,469.61 for meals for the seniors. Check 1797 was to Networks for our computer and technology services. Invoices 11,304, 11,373, 11,402, totaling $4,961.82. Check number 1799 was to the Wright Foundation. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Check 1798 was to Sederma, our board insurance, invoice 79822 for $4,057.85. Check 1799, the Wright Foundation, that was a grant approval for citizens from Selma to get horse rides and meals. And they sent me an invoice, 192. Their tax ID number is 47-5334225. And that was for the group 11 to 20 people for $775. Okay, so check number 1800 was to Clear Image Pool and Spa Supply. And that was also a grant approved for the life jackets distributed for Selma citizens. Invoice number 26860-100, $4,783.57, which leaves a balance of $216.43. It was a grant approved for $5,000. Check number 1801 was to Fulton Cycle Works. It was also a Selma Healthcare Approval Grant. An invoice number 5589 for $4,113.50. Also a grant approved up to $5,000, leaving a balance of $886.50. Check 1802 and 1803 were both voids. Check 1804 was to Alice Gonzalez for the Christian Cafe meal number 2. Tax ID number 941347076. Receipt number 010426 in the amount of $650, leaving a balance of $4,350. That was also a grant approved for meals for the Christian Cafe for $5,000, up to $5,000. And then for July, I had 2 checks went out. 1805 was Networks Computer Technology Service, invoice 11435 for $187.50. And check 1802 to Consource and Conway for attorney fees, invoice 33819 for $968.50. That's
Awesome. Just a little information. I guess I'll say this in the deal as well, but since the numbers are brought up right here, each one of the life jacket and the helmets, the number of them was 140 for each one. So it ended up being exactly 140 helmets and 140 life jackets that we're able to give out. And both of them were sourced through local suppliers that are able to do that. So the Clear Image Pool Supply usually doesn't supply life jackets, but they have a supplier. So we were able to get it through them instead of having to go through like a Walmart or something. And then Fulton Cycle Works, they're in Hanford, so they were able to, same thing there. However, since just so we understand, the project and grant balance still available is so the $886.50 still available for like the helmets. That was the limit that they were able to purchase, the $4,113.50. So as soon as they get more available or they're able to source more, he said that we can order whatever we can with the $886 that we have left. In that, he says if we're wanting to, and I said absolutely. So as many as we can get out, we will. So 140 so far of each. The other I guess report that I have or that we have was from basically what our budget or what our actuals look like from July 2025 to May 2026. It's more so for us to see what our numbers look like or for that time period. And then this sheet the amounts need to be added to the total spending to make it complete because the fiscal year will ended June 2026. So this is up to only May. But it basically shows, how much money went to grants, which was $138,043.93 as of May 2026. So that's all community programs, grants, the swim program, what what do we call them? The CPR machines, CPR program, all that kind of stuff. So 100 Lucas devices, $138,000 was spent from us doing all that. So it's pretty awesome to see. Insurance, 15,512.34. Professional administrative, $12,030. Legal expenses, 11,912.70. Technology supplies, which is what we use for Leon's computers and all their services, 1,524. I think the professional administrative, a piece of that got categorized, and it was the website deal and emails instead of technology and supplies. So those were the only things that needed to be separated. So it categorized our website as there. That was one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we understood. Legal expenses were specifically legal, but the administrative was partial, our past administrative secretary, and then the professional was services for the website and upkeep of that. So there is I'll have to bring an update for that when I go back and look. Membership dues were the SDRMA dues from last year, and then our bank fees, which were just reports that we usually get yearly or annually, and that's about it. So between that time, we had checks come in, 2 checks, one of them from the county, 25,545.94 cents, and then 125,967.30 for a total of 151,513.24 cents. And so that basically left at that time. I think we received more since then, but that was it left us or we're just under 500,000 of essentially what to budget for next year or for this fiscal year, $499,532.28 as of May 2026. So the only things that need to be added were the things on the check register this year. I'm not going to do that and bore you right now, but I will have another report. You can have this if you want. Basically, we just will be coming up with a budget so that we can see where the money will go next year, this next fiscal year, for all these programs and stuff we do. So pretty cool to see. You have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
On the check register, checks 1795 and 1796. So this is for the first senior meal. The first check was directly to the restaurant, is it? The second one, can we explain what happened, why they didn't?
I ordered 40 meals because I thought I was averaging how many people were there when I was there. But then when they had the sign up, I ended up with 20 more people. And then depending on whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is the bingo nights or days, they have on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have less people. Therefore, that's why I had the mix up there.
Okay, so the first one was budgeted for 40 and then the
Yeah.
20 extra,
You paid out.
and you paid out of pocket too. Okay.
Because that we provide, I always provide whatever they're drinking, and I provide the dessert out of my own pocket.
And then for so these two, they're just or so we understand too, the first one, senior meal number 1, came out of starting at the 5,000. The second one was the same, so it came out, and that's the current balance. And then the second one, the Christian Cafe one, that's a separate $5,000 amount, so that's why it's the 650 came out, and it's still $4,350 still. So they're 2 separate ones at 5,000. One's for the seniors specifically, and the other one's for Christian Cafe. Because they are the similar initiatives.
It'll be noted in the financial report.
Matthew, are the meals so far that have been paid, senior meals and the Christian Cafe, are they included in the grants total here?
No, that's these are the actuals up until May. And so these June ones are not.
After,
they're not
okay.
included. Yeah, so we'd have to total these up, the amounts, and add it to the.
To that one,
Yeah.
okay.
Are there any questions from the financial report at all?
At this one.
Okay. Yeah.
I just want to add to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so.
We had a little technical difficulty earlier with my laptop doing the report, and so it didn't come out exactly the way I wrote it so that it's explained in detail.
This is just the
So-
numbers and she has the notes on it, and Excel was not working coming from an HP to an Apple computer. So it was, yeah, wasn't going well, but we have our numbers. We don't need to accept any reports, right? Financial, it's not a voting item. So we'll go to our second information item, the Senior Meals and Christian Cafe Initiative updates. So this is basically a time for you to let us know, like, basically how they're going and what it is
Okay.
the initiative has done.
Alrighty, we gave our first meal on Yeah.
July?
on June, in June.
Oh,
We
yeah,
gave our
June
first, yeah, for
17.
the first one for the seniors. Okay, and I'm working with Matthew Tiger right now. I'm gonna try to schedule a lunch once a month. Right now, I have one scheduled for next week. We're gonna be serving chicken, broccoli, Alfredo with lettuce, with a salad and a roll. And then Matthew is gonna get together with me to figure out some other dates to also find out what is it, the EOC? What they're gonna be serving and see what the seniors don't want. And then what he's doing too is he's getting a list of the people who want to eat lunch with us so that I'll have a better knowledge on, about a week before on how much to serve.
That.
June 4th, okay.
And June 8th.
Oh, June 8th, okay, then that first meal was June 8th.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Hold on.
No. Not April. That was the,
The receipt.
no, that was the Christian Cafe.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
This was the senior one.
I have some pictures, but they're on my phone, of us serving the seniors.
We
They're-
The Nick,
Are they on the
Senior.
website? Okay. Anyway, this is
that was.
Ida, your neighbor was there helping us serve. Yeah. So, and it was very nice. We've served twice now for the Christian Cafe. And we're due September to do another dinner with them. And that's been received very good. Also, since I'm talking about the Christian Cafe, I want to let you know as far as their cooling center, I've checked with the Fresno, the city of Fresno, I checked with them. I checked with the police department here and I checked with the fire department as far as at what temperature we're supposed to have for when the cooling centers are supposed to be open. Fresno County said 105. Okay, that's very hot. Selma PD said 105 also. Now, first responders for the fire department, they said 103. So what I told Christian Cafe was 103. And so far, we barely under the belt there. Because the guy asked me, I can't think of his name, he was asking, you know, at what degree does he let them in? You know, what does he have to provide? I go, just water. You know, we're not there to feed them or whatever, just, it's just a cooling center and you could provide water for them. So I'm in contact with him as far as when it's open and everything, and I make sure. And I told him it's 103. Okay?
Do
All
you have any
right.
questions on that?
Any questions?
Questions from the public? Yeah, or comments?
Yeah, I'm back up here. Matt Tiger. I work with the Selma Senior Center over down the street. We just wanted to say thank you for the meals. The seniors really appreciate it. We already have our sign up going on for next week. We're at 52 right now, and that's for a Tuesday meal. And like she said, Monday, Wednesday, or Fridays are usually our bigger days. And so whenever there's a good meal, all the seniors will sign up. And so we really appreciate it. With our survey going out with EOC, we got a lot of feedback on what they're looking for, and a lot of them want some local meals and things like that. And so with you guys providing that service, it's a big help to them. And so we really appreciate it over at the Selma Center.
Thank you.
I also want to say thank you for providing that to the seniors. It's really, many of them are struggling extremely badly right now. So, and thank you for paying for upfront. I know 3 of them are real paranoid. They look forward to eating those meals, and it's nice to hear that you did take care of it and then was reimbursed. So, thank you for taking care of that. That was very nice that you stepped up to do that. And as we all attend and been at that Christian Cafe for a decade, we see how the seniors do struggle, and how they're so grateful. It's their only meal for that day. So thank you again for providing those meals.
Stelma Ramirez, I'm a resident. I have a question going back to the cooling center, because I believe it was on the city page, that there's already been dates that, days that they're inviting the public if they want to go in to the cooling center. Is that going to be revised now to, depending, like you said, on how hot it is, that it has to be 100 and, I believe you said 103, 105. How is that going to work? Is it going to be advertised now? Because there's something out there right now that says, I think it's certain days that they can go and then certain hours. I believe it's from 6 to 8. So that's the last advertisement I've seen. So now, if it's going to go according to temperature, how is that going to work as far as advertising?
Their advertised days are days that they're open specifically for the Christian Cafe, and it's on Wednesdays, I believe, and during their mealtime. So that's like regardless of the temperature, they'll be open. And then the temperature days are in addition to the days that they're open for the meals.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Is there any other comments from the public before we move to the next item? Or anybody online? Nope. Okay. I will move on to item 7.3. I need to put a point before that, not after. So the life jacket and helmet initiative update. Basically, the way it went is, we passed the budgets for those at 5,000 each to purchase helmets and life jackets for the citizens. I asked the companies that were going to do the sourcing for us, hey, we want to get, for the most part, infant, toddler, youth, and then like a few adults, just in case, there's larger kids. I know when I was 12, I could use an adult life jacket for sure. But, just to get those sizes available, they gave me like a percentage. Hey, we're going to do this much infants, this much toddler. And I don't know exactly, it was over the phone that they told me, but it was, we just got a couple of the large ones, adult size. The majority of them are the youth size. And then there's, I believe it was 20 and 20% of the infant and child ones. So we have a good arrangement of them to give out. What I was going to do is get like a few of each of the sizes and take them over to the police department. and then get the rest of them, of those sizes and take them for our days at the summer pool. So, you know, we're hitting the community where they will be at, the people who are going to need it. So, if anybody has any, or if anybody has any suggestions or questions or anything about that, I'm happy to, you know, take that into consideration or to help or whatever. The helmets, those haven't arrived yet. They're on, they're basically coming from the distributor and they're coming like a few at a time. So I was trying to be strategic and go get them when there's enough. He said there's a few there, but he said he's like, we're going to get a few more in the next few days. So it'd probably be more strategic to go get them all at once. But they are going to be trickling in because they're coming from like all of the different warehouses from the distributor. And there's 2 different ones. So, and helmets take up a lot of space and there was a lot of shipping. But he was able to source them. He was able to stay within our budget and there was still 140 helmets. So it was pretty awesome that they were able to do that. And it is local, as local as we could get. I didn't want to have to go with like a big 5 or a Walmart or something. I definitely wanted to stay local. He's his own, it's the person I'm working with, his name is Darren from Fulton Cycle Works in Hanford. So it's small business, not, and he's been open for few years. He definitely said he struggles back and forth, but he's super happy that we were staying local with the purchase and stuff. So, and there was really nobody else that was be able to do that here. It was a stretch for the life jackets and for them to source them, but they said, hey, we got a distributor, they're willing to do it, we can do it. So I was happy that our own a local company was able to do that for us. For the helmets, it's what I wanted to do is try to get to as many of our summer events as we can. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the helmets physically here in time, so I don't know if we have any specific outdoor events that we might be able to, you know, set up a booth at or a table at, get them to as many kids as possible, and then basically just going to brainstorm as soon as they're physically here with recreation and, you know, hey, where can we target, get these out to kids like the best we can? Because even me just sitting outside, I see kids running or driving down the street on their e-bikes and whatever they have, and I just want to hand them a helmet. Like it's scary, but we'll do what we can. Were there any questions from the board? Any questions or comments from the public?
Robertson, 1057 Mill Street. You think that these life jackets are having an impact? You bet. Opening the pool, impact, you bet. Cooling centers, you bet. You guys are doing really great work impacting our community. And I could tell you just a hands-on example. Rose and I were driving a couple weeks ago. It was really hot. We look over in the canal. There's an older guy with a younger person standing there in the canal. Really dangerous. You fall down, you get carried away. Who knows if they knew how to swim? But opening that pool has probably saved many, many lives since 2014. I thank you, board, for doing that and going beyond that and getting life jackets as well. I think that's really important. And the helmets too. I think you hit the nail on the head, Chair. These e-bikes are out there. A few weeks ago, it seems like it hit its peak with that fatality. Hopefully it hit its peak and it's going to go down, and there's going to be more awareness out there. There are going to be more rules out there, and you're doing your part to make our community safer, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Jim Avalos, 1701 Dinuba. Yeah, as far as the residents, see if, you know, if they live in the town here, giving out the life jackets and the helmets, if their parents come and they show their ID, then we can do it that way, logical. And I'm glad you guys are stepping up and for public safety as far as our community. You know, like the mayor says, it's easy. Our ditches are full of water right now. and people walk down the ditch bank. I get it. And little people, summertime right now, all it takes someone to fall in, not know how to swim, you're gone. It's a matter of minutes, you're gone. And as far as helmets for the kids, you know, we already had one death in Selma here just recently. you know, not, of course, not wearing a helmet either, but also obeying the laws of our streets, you know, unfortunately. And I think when we give the helmets out and the life jackets, I'm sure that there'll be educational as far as these situations, as far as helmets and life jackets, how to use these properly. But I thank you guys for stepping up to the plate and helping our community. Thank you.
Any more comments before we go? Move on. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to our action items, section 8. 8.1, consideration and possible action for Administrative Secretary Services. Discussion and possible action authorizing the board chair and district legal counsel to negotiate and extend an offer to Raquel, excuse me if I do not pronounce this right, Tarasevic, to provide Administrative Secretary Services to Selma Healthcare District as an independent contractor, including the development and extension of an independent contractor agreement, subject to terms, terms and compensation approved by the board. Basically, where this has come from is a ad hoc committee was made, and they received, well, it was a position was open for a long time on our website. We've received we received a interest from Ms. Raquel and Director Avalos and Treasurer Gallardo basically met her, did their due diligence, went over her resume, met with her and asked her and basically vetted to see what she did or what she's done and her abilities to perform the duties here. Brought her back as a suggestion from their ad hoc, and now we're here, consideration. This is an opportunity for the board to ask questions and basically decide whether or not we are going to extend or work on extending the offer to her. So, Mr. Coat, if you want, if you could step to the microphone, introduce yourself, let us know. Was the microphone on? Sorry about that.
Hi, my name is Raquel Tarasevic, and I have lived in Selma since 1990. I am a claims supervisor. I run a unit of 7 employees. I live here in Selma, 1340 Merced Street.
Have any specific questions? Okay. Oh, good.
What qualifications and as far as the secretarial, duties here, what can you share with us?
Sure. I have been a past vice president of the Fresno Industrial Claims Association. I'm also the vice president, actually the treasurer for professionals and workers' compensation. I am currently the board secretary for the Sheriff's Foundation for Public Safety.
Considering we are like in like super need of the services you provide, are you willing to start like immediately upon agreeing to a contract?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. That was my biggest concern, to be honest. That's about it.
Do you have any questions of the board?
No, actually, it's been running real well, I think.
So at the moment, what this would take is a motion from us to basically allow myself and legal to we need to agree upon terms and compensation. So are we going to continue with what it has been before? In terms of it was there was a specific term that I literally was thinking of, or it's basically saying that like that the contractor is the terms that I'm thinking about is basically like they work at the direction of the board. And then the way that they're paid, turning in it just needs to be said in the or what do we call it, in the motion, so that the direction is for us, or for myself and the legal counsel, to come up with the agreement in a certain way. So if we do make the motion right now, please be sure to include, how much per hour, which previously was $30 an hour. And then to be submitted through a timesheet and noted of what duties were performed during those specific times. So it needs to be kind of specific. It doesn't need to be like all the way through. I just want to make sure it's transparent when in the direction of the motion. You understand? Okay, so then what I'll do is, would it be okay for me to entertain a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I will
And
speak.
it is signed.
Okay, so the motion, or I would like to entertain a motion to allow the board chair and legal counsel to extend an offer to Raquel Tarasevic to provide administrative secretary services and as an independent contractor, subject to the terms previously, or the terms in our previous administrative secretary agreement, and compensation being at $30 an hour.
Second.
So you, since I'm entertaining, somebody would say, or you guys, in order to pick up the motion, you say so moved,
So move.
and somebody needs a second.
Second.
Okay. So then the motion was moved by Treasurer Gallardo and then seconded by Member Avalos. Right, now I will call for the vote. Treasurer Gallardo,
Yes.
Member Avalos,
Yes.
Member Herrera,
Yes.
Member Alanis is absent. And myself, Member Rodriguez, yes. Alrighty. Motion passes, so we will work on getting that contract to you and basically agree to terms, and if you could start right away, that'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, so move on to action item 8.2, consideration and possible action of the Selma Enhancement Corporation grant application for the Pioneer Village Community Restroom and event support facility. Discussion and possible action to review and consider approval of a grant award in an amount not to exceed $50,000 to the Selma Enhancement Corporation in support of the Pioneer Village Community Restroom and event support facility. The amount is $50,000. We'll go through the packet and all that. So if you can pull up oh wait, we didn't pull that one. Or Jose, if you can speak on it since you're the.
Good evening, board members. My name is Jose Moreno, Communications Director for the City of Selma and Public Information Officer. As you see in front of you, there is a grant request for the Pioneer Village restrooms submitted by me, and it is to the Selma Enhancement Corp. Before I begin, I want to play a short video to give some context of what the park is in case you need a reminder. If you could roll that for me, sir.
Sits at the heart of Selma as a place shaped by history and defined by community use. The village spans 15 acres and preserves buildings from the 1880s that reflect early life in Selma and the Central Valley. These structures tell the story of how the community began. They were saved so that history could still be seen, walked through, and learned from today. Pioneer Village remains an essential reminder of Selma's past and the generations that helped shape it. Today, Pioneer Village serves as one of Selma's most flexible and meaningful gathering spaces. Throughout the year, the grounds host a wide range of events. These include cultural celebrations, concerts, festivals, weddings, and birthday gatherings. The open layout allows the space to change and adapt depending on the event. Large open areas create space for seating, vendors, and food. A central gazebo with a dance floor serves as a natural gathering point for performances and celebrations. Wide pathways help guide visitors through the grounds. Picnic areas offer space to gather, rest, and connect. A mature tree canopy stretches across much of the park, providing shade and creating a comfortable setting for day and evening events. Pioneer Village has the ability to welcome large crowds and support events that bring thousands of people together over time. This space matters because of the moments people share here. History provides context, and new memories continue to be made. Pioneer Village remains a place for gathering, celebration, and shared experience.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to paint a picture for you guys and kind of give some more context to what we're talking about here. The Day of the Dead event brought over about 2,000 people to the event. Folks from all age ranges. It's some of our elderly community members and some children, because we have a lot of small children doing folklorico dancing. I have data that shows they're there for over 200 minutes at this event, so that's more than 2 hours. Obviously, they're going to need to use the restrooms. Currently, for events like this, we have to rent portable restrooms and portable hand washing stations, and we know that's really not sustainable for a large amount of people. So think about these children going to use the restroom and then going to go play in a bounce house, eating food. We have arts and crafts, so them using the restroom and going to the arts and craft area. It's really not adequate hand washing stations or facilities to maintain large events such as that. The same goes for the Tejano concert and other large events that we do, is that really what we're working with at the Pioneer Village isn't sustainable for the large amounts that we have showing up. So I want to present to you the packet I printed out for you. I hope you all have it. I won't go through it word for word. I'll just kind of go over the highlights. But as you know, the Pioneer Village is one of our biggest venues, and it brings about 31,000 visitors in 2025 alone. And that's not only for concerts, but for weddings and community events like Sparks. They do a spring event, they do a fall event. So we're bringing families constantly. The biggest issue about not having these restrooms is it creates a public health gap. Again, hand washing is vital to not spreading germs and making sure everybody's safe. As we learned from the pandemic a few years ago, that's one of the best ways to fight illness around the community. So I want to go over what we're requesting at the $50,000 fund. I'll read off the bullet points that are here and how this could potentially help us. It's going to increase the access to the hand washing and hand hygiene in the community. So the biggest thing is we want to provide ADA compliant restrooms to ensure equitable, dignified access for the seniors and individuals with disabilities. One of the biggest things having a daughter is including changing tables. We really want to make sure changing tables are accessible for both genders and both restrooms. So right now, people don't have to change them on the floor or try to find a way to change a child right now. We want to reduce the overcrowding and congestion that happens currently with the restrooms we do have. There's a long wait, long line. Obviously, that's unsafe to have people waiting to use the restroom. The facilities are significantly outdated. If you've all been to the events, the sinks are outdated. The toilets are outdated as well. We want to just make sure that we have adequate sanitation for these type of events. One of the other things I want to bring up is the investment for permanent infrastructure in the park. I've been tasked with kind of promoting the community and promoting the city. As you know, Pioneer Village is one of our jewels in the community, but it's hard to market and promote such a facility if we don't have the adequate bathrooms. I would love to see other events happen there. Let's say like a Renaissance fair or big family reunions. Things like that can't really happen unless we have the adequate restrooms to kind of help promote the venue and also recoup some of the money that we put into the park. It's a very costly endeavor, and as Director Matt Tiger could talk a little bit more about that, what it takes to maintain it. But that's essentially the project scope of is, to be honest, the 50,000 is not going to cover the entire project. We're working with Public Works, who's also on the phone, as well as our city manager, Jason Rogers, to provide any answers that you have on this project. This will actually be a collaborative and partnership with the city and other sponsorships that we're looking forward to build this collaborative effort for this bathroom to maintain public health for our event or for our community. So if you want to take a look at the packet, there's some other examples of how the park is used, the project location, and all the details. But I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys have any right now.
Any questions about the project?
Pioneer Village, is that a city-owned facility?
Yes, Pioneer Village is city-owned, yes.
Okay, help me understand the restroom currently is not ADA compliant, correct? Is that what we're trying to get to?
Director Hahn, are you on the line?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, his question was if our current restroom is completely ADA compliant.
So they are not completely ADA compliant, and we only have two facilities, which would basically be a men's and a women's restroom. What we're lacking is the amount of stalls or individual restrooms that are all fully up to current California building code and ADA compliance.
Okay. My other question would be, you maintain the facilities at parks, restrooms. What makes this one different where you're not able to cover the costs?
Well, I can tell you as far as maintaining the facilities at the other parks, Pioneer Village has the most outdated, they're probably built back, I couldn't give you an exact date, but probably in the 70s or maybe early 80s. They're all wood-sided. They're very basic, generic restrooms for that time and that era. The park restroom facilities at all of the other parks in the city are more modern, CMU construction, individual stalls, ADA compliant. So that park is only used for venues, and the restrooms are just something that has been on the to-do list to get those upgraded and bring more facilities for the big events. Bringing in portable restrooms for those events is not only cost prohibited after a period of events, but it's also just, it doesn't really meet the standard that we want for our citizens at those events as far as cleanliness and plenty of room for multiple people to be using the lavatory at the same time.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of Director Hahn's point, some of these events obviously serve mostly Selma families, especially the smaller local events like the kids Easter egg hunt and things like that. But when we do have these large scale events like the Tejano concert and the Day of the Dead event, we're seeing folks from surrounding cities want to participate in our community, and we want to put the best foot forward. And like Director Hahn said, that restroom is significantly outdated, but we're talking about 31,000 visitors in 2025 alone, and I hope to see this grow in this upcoming year. So I would love to put our best foot forward and show them like what our jewel of our historic park looks like, but also have the adequate restrooms to display as well.
Would it be fair to say that the city doesn't budget enough money to take care of this on their own? And that's kind of where we are here
Part of the city.
Hi, City Manager Rogers here. And so part of this is it's not a maintenance issue. It's, creating additional facilities for the park. We have budgeted funding for construction of this. And this is for access to clean permanent restrooms and facilities, which is, as Jose mentioned earlier, is a, public health issue. And because of the size of events that are often put out there, the current existing facilities are inadequate, have ADA issues, and so permanent facilities to improve sanitation, hand washing opportunities, accessibility for seniors and individuals with disabilities would make it possible to host a wide range of events over at that park. As stated too, we viewed the healthcare district as an important community partner. The 50,000 request is not to fund the entire project. It represents, a meaningful investment that helps the city move the project towards construction while directly supporting public health components of the facility. And within the city's existing budget for maintenance and everything, city staff will be maintaining that as we move forward.
Okay, I agree that it needs to be updated. I'm just looking at your budget and looks like you don't have enough budgeted to cover. So to partner with us, I'm looking at our budget and the numbers that we have that we presented earlier today, total spending, and does not include the most recent expenditures. We're at 180,536 that we've spent. We only brought in 151,500 for the year. So we've spent more than we received. So I'm just looking at it. I don't think it's in our budget because we've already spent more than we brought in.
Let me go over what we have to date in the account is 590,733.28. Regardless of what we sent out with this last financial report, we are part of the city. This board is part of the city. And if you've never been out in Pioneer Village for years, volunteering and being out there and being at events and seeing how the lines get really, really long for the bathrooms, and people need to use the bathroom, whether they have disabilities or not. The citizens and people need bathrooms. And $50,000 is, to me, a small amount of money to help provide with, as long as everyone else is willing to help and contribute for these bathrooms as well. It is needed. It's needed for everybody, young to our elderly that go out there. And again, if you've never been out there doing or being at events or volunteering your time to, the lines get long. People need to go to the bathroom. And that place can be, there's a lot they can do at the Pioneer Village. It just needs help. And again, this board is part of the city, as we have been helping for, and we should continue to help. So I think it's a great start after decades of not having those bathrooms up to being upgraded and whatever have you, whatever they need. We need them. We need them there. There can be a lot going on there if we had the right bathroom facilities for people of all ages, everybody.
I want to echo something that Board Member Gallardo went over, that we're seeing a significant amount of over the past year and a half, is this collaboration. These elected bodies actually talking to each other now and collaborating, whether that's financial or that's planning, where that's coordinating. We've been partnering with the Chamber. We've been partnering with the Downtown Business Association. We've been partnering with the Selma Healthcare District. We're seeing a lot more bodies collaborate to support the greater community in need. And we really appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to present this to you guys.
I don't know if any of you have used those porta potties. There is no room. You can barely turn around in there. They're dirty. I mean, children they pee on the darn seat. Do you want to go to the bathroom after somebody's peed on the seat? I mean, this is disgusting. I mean, and myself as a senior, having to climb up to get in there to even go to the bathroom is a chore for me. Okay, so I don't know how about anybody else feels. I don't like porta potties. Okay, and if I can do something to make it happen so there's better bathrooms, then that's better for our people here, to show our surrounding cities, our city cares about what happens. How you go to the bathroom here, you know, this is awful. And then as far as, I'm not sure if you have it in the works for a family room, for somebody that has a wheelchair that cannot climb in, walk into the bathroom to go to the handicap bathroom. Are you planning on having a room so that their helper can take them in to the bathroom to help them?
Yeah, I believe there's preliminary designs going around with Director Hahn. If you want to chime in, I know we've shared some concepts around that we're looking at. Is there space for a third family restroom in some of the designs that you've reviewed?
Yeah, we have options to change floor plan right up to the acceptance of the contract and whatever design we go with. I'm currently engaged by request of the city manager with Mobile Modular, who is also doing the EMS facility right now. They're in contract with the city on another project, but I got word that they actually work on bathrooms as well, restroom port, they're like portable buildings, but they can be manufactured and assembled as a permanent structure. So I'm working with a gentleman named Ryan with Cells right now from Mobile Modular, and I'm hoping to have something from them, as well as the concept drawings that were given to council 2 weeks ago.
I have a question really quick. Treasurer Gallardo. Just so I can reconcile, did we receive a check in June by chance from the county or income?
Was it June 4th, 2026?
Okay. Cool. So then, just so that financially I can speak and make sense of this. Our budgeted amount last year, we didn't have a specific budget, but the actuals come out to our expenditures being $201,559.64. And our income, $151,000. So we were $50,000. We spent $50,000 more than we received, but that also left us with a remaining balance, if we had just spent that, $478,509.15. So of unbudgeted, of basically reserves or money we didn't touch. And then receiving that check, $110,960, whatever cents was said.
26 cents.
Brought us back up to within to a certain amount to the 590,000. It's probably because something hasn't got a check from this one hasn't gone through yet or something. $733.28. So as it sits, the only thing not budgeted for that we are on the or have spoken for is $100,000 of the proposal of our last regular meeting to support the youth sports in the city. So essentially, we have $490,000 within about $490,000 of reserve funds or money that isn't budgeted at the moment. So when we do come back and come up with a budget, that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to be kind of speaking about. So specifically, when it comes to our financial standing, and this is me speaking my opinion. I think the $50,000 is okay for us, or I don't think $50,000 is realistically going to be a detriment to the healthcare district. But I understand board members Herrera's question. One of my biggest questions is the $50,000 that is being asked I want to know how much is the $50,000 gonna how much of the project is the $50,000 gonna help if we partner with the city to get this done. So like how much does it gonna cost, or is there an anticipated cost in total? And then what is the completed project gonna be? Like it says there, what is it, is it 4 different stalls or or like
We're,
26 stalls?
we're looking at several options. We're looking at a men's and a women's individual with multiple stalls, and then we're also looking at 6 individual restrooms, individual entries. So we're looking at different options, but just so that the board understands that this 50,000 will be combined with the already budgeted money of over 200,000 that the city's allocated to go towards these restrooms. So this is just to get us closer to the need of the citizens for these events. And like some of the council mentioned, or the board member mentioned, that there's possibility of a living room or a room where you need to help an elder get out of a chair and into a stall to take care of that. So again, there's multiple options that we're looking at. I did give concept drawings to the council a couple weeks ago. I believe there were 5 or 6 different renderings of different options. But again, we're trying to look for local business as well and support local business. So we've since reached out to Mobile Modular. And again, I'm working with a gentleman named Ryan on some ideas of what they can probably produce for us and set on a new slab.
The other question was for legal. Absolutely. Yeah, that was gonna be my next question.
So one thing, and I'm new to representing this board, so I just want to reiterate something you've probably been told before, but in order to give grants by a healthcare district, it has to be healthcare related. We've heard this, and so that it's up to you to make a decision whether this is has a sufficient nexus, is how the law reads, to your mission and providing preventative or treatment for the community. So keep that in mind. And then I guess the next question I think would be helpful for the board to understand is, what's the timeline here? Do you need an approval or a decision today? Sounds like you still have to gather more money. What's your timeline?
Timeline, I don't have a for sure date. I would hope that by the end of the year that we would have something approved by the city council to move forward with design and begin construction, probably spring of next year, 27. I think that would be realistic.
And then additionally, part of that design is based upon how much funding that we have. So if we know the amount of total funding that we have, then we can tailor that design to what's there.
So this essentially isn't going to be money needed out of our account until it is. So it's more of a like, hey, we're going to budget this to be allocated to this project pending, I guess, the project, or us being supplied when the actual project comes out, the designs, the blueprints, and like, hey, this is what it's going to, this is what's going to cost. The 50,000 is going to support this percentage of it. And hearing the legal interpretation stuff, and the nexus of it has to be from, or the nexus of the project has to be healthcare related. I feel like we've done facility work before for specific areas that are like public areas. So whether it's, the one was very specifically healthcare related, which was we donated for the facility at United Healthcare years back, which I understand. It was very easy to say, hey, healthcare related. It was a waiting room. That was easily interpreted, the interpretation was easy. The interpretation on this one is probably the biggest thing that we got to interpret as a board. For me, I see it necessary, and I think we'd get support from the community for putting $50,000 as a board to this. But I do understand questions and making sure that if we do put the money up for that amount to the project, we definitely want to see what it is, what the project is going to look like, how much of the project is going to be funded, or what portion of the project is the $50,000 going to fund, and then we'd release the funds after, you know, approving that kind of stuff. So can we get, I guess, either if there's no questions, more specific questions from the board? Yeah, go ahead.
Again, there's no question that it's needed. The only thing, and the examples that you gave, Matthew, the money that we've given in the past, we budgeted for that. We have no budget for this. We're already over budget for the year. And then after you, there's another proposal coming up for $20,000. Another good ask for them, but again, we keep spending money that we're spending more than we're bringing in, even though we have a nest egg. But we have a nest egg because we've been very responsible, and we've been able to have that money, you know, for helmets and life jackets, and those are things we would have never done before. But we've had that money because we spent responsibly, it stayed in our budget. Well, right now we have no budget. We have no budget. There was no budget for the year, and whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault. It's just that it wasn't a thing that was out there. We're not thinking about budget. Nobody's thinking about what's going in, what's coming out. So again, if we're not responsible with the money that we do have in savings, it's going to be gone. You know, this 20,000 here, the next one is the 50,000 right now. The next one is 20,000. We're already spent more than we brought in, and we're not even at the end of the year for the kids, you know, for more, like for the kids program that you mentioned. We've spent way more than that we can, you know, responsibly spend. I'm just saying that this is a good ask, and it's a need, but we should budget for that. And that's an item that we need to put on our agenda is let's get a budget, because we have no budget for this year.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you definitely need to have a budget. So
Yeah.
we should be adopting a budget
ASAP.
ASAP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the end of fiscal year happened, and that's when Anthony asked about it. I went back and I tried to find our budget. We didn't have it was from 24 to 25, so we need the 25 to 26, and then 26 to 27 to make sure we follow it. That's why I got the actuals.
Yeah.
Because if anything, I didn't want to tell Anthony, hey, I don't know. So that's why I came up with the actuals and made sure we got, you know, this to get a picture. So my interpretation of our financials, I understand your like want to be fiscally conservative when it comes to like not wanting to like spend it all. I see the vision a little bit differently. So with our current balance of the 590,000, we look at it and we say, okay, we receive about 150,000, a little bit more sometimes per year. And our total spend this year was 50,000 above that. We'd have to do that for the next, 10 years to go negative, or even close to that. I don't anticipate. Yeah.
Yes.
The number that I have doesn't include June to forward. This number was at the end of our fiscal year, what we did and what was left. And the only thing that is promised is $100,000 that we budgeted, but we need to create a process for. It was voted to allocate a certain amount of money. It was $100,000 to that initiative. So besides that $100,000 that was voted for that initiative, the rest of the money isn't spoken for unless it's annual expenses, such as which we need to come up with is our average and budget the number of expenses for our insurance, professional, administrative, legal, technology, membership dues, and bank fees. And I don't see that coming close to $490,000 is what I'm saying. So like, I don't think we're going to be in a financially stressful situation by saying, hey, next year, or by as a board deciding today, hey, let's make sure that when we do make a budget, we add or we consider or we budget the $50,000 to help with this restroom when that comes back to us. I don't see that being a detriment to us looking at what we have in front of us financially.
Two things before you open up to public comment. I want to ensure that you all got the packet. My proposal is about 7 pages. It does address a lot of the health concerns to fit the annex of what the health benefits are of this project. And lastly, one of the main reasons I'm bringing this now is because like it's happening, like the project is happening. We have a council who's working with city staff to ensure that this project becomes a priority. So that's kind of why I'm bringing it up to you now. We're getting a lot of collaboration amongst other bodies and other commissions to move this project forward. So that's essentially why I'm proposing it at this moment.
To the public.
Have a comment?
The only comment I had to your rebuttal was, if we're going to go over budget, why doesn't the city go over budget to fund their own facility? It's not our facility. That's my thing.
To reiterate Director Han's point, the city did allocate money for this project. So it's, again, the collaborative effort of organizations working together is key here.
I think, I understand what you mean for that, because at the end of the day, yes, responsibility for the project. I mean, it's a city facility, but it's a community effort. I don't see this as us going over budget for anything, because it wasn't a budget. We just happened to be very financially responsible this last year because we understand our financials pretty well. And it ended up that, hey, we didn't have a specific number and budget that we did. But when we were understanding our grants and our proposals this year, we got financial updates throughout the year and realized, okay, we can do certain things and we can, allocate certain amounts of money. And we ended up at a $50,000 of use out of our, essentially what was, our in our accounts before, and having a $590,000 amount after basically all these expenses and everything were paid this year. I don't see us in a financial burden situation where we can't say, hey, let's make sure this is in our budget next year. So I do agree we 100% need a budget, but I don't see us as having gone over budget or anything, because we didn't have a budget, but we were very financially responsible this year. Do you have anything to say, unless I can to the public? Okay, let's open it up to the public for comments.
$1057 Mill Street, Rose Robertson. Okay, so this has been in the makes for a really long time. Now that we have new administration, the city didn't have a financial director. So yeah, there's some issues there for a good three years when we had a different council. So now that they have a finance director, they're in a better situation to help fund. However, at the same time, the Selma Healthcare District, so you guys don't forget, at least one of you up there, the property tax that buildings that we own and homes goes directly into this fund. So I'm just going to go into the last 10 years of us volunteering our time, being there with the people, senior citizen, handicapped people that need these facilities. It's very unfortunate that you have to see young kids holding themselves. You see elderly people, stressed with their health because they need to use these restrooms. And at the end of the day, it's about health. And once the city can just, and as far as I'm concerned, 50,000 is a bargain, because once they start sending you the handicap rails, ramps, restrooms, this is just handicap facility, hand wash, ramps for every facility, I'll guarantee you it's going to be over $50,000. So with them just allocation of that amount is a deal. And this city better start waking up on helping with the handicap people here that are in use. There's a lot of people in wheelchairs that come to these events, and we know because we actually see them. We talk to them, and we actually say we're sorry that we don't have the correct facilities for them. So yes, this is going to be a great partnership for us to do that. I guarantee you, I could tell you exactly who's been attending any of these events. And the one that's really touching and heartfelt is Dia de los Muertos, because there's at least 1,000 kids there enjoying themselves. But I could guarantee you that they're not enjoying themselves when they're having to hold themselves because we don't have enough restrooms. And one year they were broken. So yes, they are very needed. So, you know, I really hope this is something you guys really put your head together and know that it's been decades, excuse me, that our Pioneer Village has been needing it. So, I've been there for 3 decades, volunteering my time and being there. And at the end of the day, also, once we have some nice bathrooms there, they'll be renting out the facility even more to start making even more money. So that'll be quinceañeras, reunions, and all these other facilities. So it'll be a win-win situation for the city. Thank you.
Good evening. I work as, right now I represent the Recreation Board, the commission. Pioneer Village was didn't have a voice for 3 years there, for 2 or 3 years. Had 3 open vacancies in the commission. And so it didn't really get that voice to kind of advocate for itself to have that stuff in the budget. And like, Rose had mentioned that we were down a finance manager. And so some things did slip through the cracks, but ever since the Pioneer Village, was put into the Recreation Commission, it's been a loud voice, not just from the community, but from our commission as well, that this is what the community is wanting and needing. And like it's been mentioned before, we have about 270,000 allocated right now towards the Pioneer restrooms. And so we're just looking to kind of maximize those funds and stretch the project before we kind of lock in on one of those projects. And so anything really helps. And so I know the community is really looking forward to it, and it's a big need in the community.
Do we have any other public comments?
Thought this topic was going to be about public restrooms at McCall Village, but one of your board members up here is making about your budget and all sorts of objections. And I've been to many of these meetings, and board member Herrera is one of those who makes a lot of objections. Scott Robertson, 1057 Mill Street. Can I make my comment? Sir, I listened to you while you were speaking. Can you listen to me?
Yeah, just
Can you be respectful of the board, of the public?
Absolutely. I'll stop your time for a second. You just wanted to make sure before we make comments, or you asked we don't speak or we don't make direct comments. But I mean, you'd probably, or
I have a First Amendment right, sir, to make my public comments. I'm being respectful. You're being very disrespectful by talking when I'm talking. Do you mind not talking when I'm talking? The same courtesy that I afforded you, Board Member Herrera? Can I have the same courtesy? Thank you. I'll go on.
Your time.
So I was here a couple of meetings ago, and I got your finance report, and your balance was 630,000. Now your balance is 590,000. And what I'm hearing is an objection to this agenda item, this very worthy agenda item, is we don't have enough money. And then you're grant shaming the city because supposedly we don't allocate enough to the parks. I'm just echoing one of your board members' objections. So I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not saying that as a personal ad hominem attack. I'm saying that as those are your objections, and I think they're way off base. I think we should address the actual issue, which is the bathrooms at Pioneer Village. And you are not the only source of funding. You are a stream of funding in addition to other streams of funding. I encourage the healthcare district to remember that you are a grant funder, and the city is coming to you for the award of a grant for a health-related issue. To make this a budget item when you have $590,000 in your general fund and you have very little operating expenses, I think that's a distraction. It's a red herring almost. I think it really ought to be on, the debate should be on whether or not those restrooms are needed, what kind of restrooms are needed, and what improvements. So what I would like the board to consider is whether this is health related and whether this amount does fit your mission and whether or not there is money for that. And from your treasurer's report, there's 590,000. Now, the city has a reserve requirement of 20%. I believe your reserve requirement was 100,000, is that right? You're at $590,000, so the 50,000 is not going to break the bank. And I would echo another speaker's comments tonight to say the funding stream that you get is property taxes from property owners in the city of Selma. And Pioneer Village is in the city of Selma, and it was donated by Art Gonzalez after, the Parkway is named after another member of the city that gave back. So I'm just hoping that the healthcare district prioritizes the actual subject at hand tonight, which is the need for those restrooms and sanitary conditions at Pioneer Village. Thank you for your time and your respect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can respond when public comment's done.
Respond in interpretation. It's not necessarily a specific response. You don't have to.
Stella Ramirez, I'm a resident.
One second. So in the order, what we'll do is we'll have a response from the board, and then we'll take your public comment right afterwards, because it pertains to the last one.
In response to our last public speaker, again, I was elected to the board to make decisions, and my decisions are based off of fiscal responsibility and to make sure that we allocate those funds for health related, which this meets that criteria. Again, to be the adult in the room, you have to watch your purse. If you're spending more than you're bringing in, eventually you're going to run out of money. And that's what, so we have no guardrails because we have no budget. We have no guardrails. So that's all I was saying. Not disagreeing that it's needed or not needed. I think it is needed. But I just think we really need to watch our purse to be able to have the money in the future to keep funding the big initiatives. That's going to be like $100,000 for the youth sports. We spent $100,000, over $100,000 for the Lucas devices. And again, the only reason we have that money is because in the past, not this year, but in the past, we've been really responsible with our budgets. And that's all I'm saying. To attack me for that reason is just out of line.
Okay. I also have a response to that. So, in specifically the in the public comment, a few things were made, and I just want to, I guess, echo, because this item specifically, what we're considering right now is considering the need of this for the specific project. When it comes to the budget, when it comes to everything that we've done before, or to see how much, if we need a number, considering our promised funds at the moment in terms of things we voted to and promised to allocate to certain projects, and then our responsibility as a board to keep $100,000 in reserves, if everything's reconciled correctly, that would be $390,000, $733.28. That is the amount that we have to budget for the 2026 to 2027 fiscal year. The question that I'm asking the board, or the question that this item asks the board, is because of the status of the project, of that $390,000, are we comfortable putting a designation on $50,000 of it for this project. And would that be a detriment to us? Because it takes care of, with our current balance to date and checks that are out and promised monies of funds, it's $200,000 that we have promised right now. And I think it's $2,000 or $2,116 of a check that hasn't cleared. So of that is of what's left is, the question right now, financially anyways, and this is just specifically financially, is $50,000 out of the $390,733.28 reasonable for this project and something we can do? That is the best explanation I can say. And I understand we do need a complete budget, but this is just something, and understanding how budgets are created, that we can foresee and say, hey, is this something we can add to our budget or budget for the next year? So that makes sense. Yeah, there was a public comment waiting, so that was our.
Stella Ramirez, Selma residents. So what I'm hearing is that $50,000 is not going to break the bank. I'm a taxpayer. I don't have one home. I have more than one home. So I pay plenty of property taxes, let me tell you. And I would really like to see this happen because I've been to the Tejano Festival. And the last time I went, I had to get in line because the mobile restrooms that they had stairs. And I have a bad knee and I can't climb those stairs. And the line that I got on to go to the regular restrooms, that line was long. And so, and when I got in there, you know, they were pretty dirty, messy. They were, you know, just not up to date. So I would really like to see my property taxes, my money, the citizens' money that works here, I mean, that live here. We would like to see our money. I'm pretty sure they would like to see, you know, their money and my money go to this project. Now, I don't want anything, I don't want, like, I've been hearing, oh, well, you know, this is about us, a personal agenda, you know, about me. No, it's not. This is about all of us. This is about the entire community. It's not about, you know, just the health board or the council. This is us, all of us, because we all, you know, go there for one thing or another. The Dia de los Muertos, you know, the Tejano Festival or a concert or something. We all go there. And we really, really need this. And if we don't make it happen now, then it's not going to happen. Then what are we going to do? Continue to let them get older, the restrooms, to the point where we can't, you know, we got to shut them down or something? We got to make it happen. We got to make it happen now. So I say that, you know, you should really consider taking, you know, doing this because it is important for all of us. For the children, like they said, for the children, as well as the elderly people, and for just anyone, all of us. So I just want to state that this is really important and that I would really like to see it happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Were there any other public comments in here? If not, are there any online at all? Nobody raising their hand? All righty. So we'll come back to the board. So go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Director Hahn.
Oh, I'm sorry, I sneezed.
Oh.
My apologies.
Okay,
Bless you.
so it's back to the board, correct? board,
Okay,
correct?
so yeah, so it's right now it's back to the board. The item is basically placed on us. Do we have any questions on it? Or anything that needs to be interpreted?
No, I don't. I'd like to go ahead and make the motion for the 50,000 to be allocated to the Pioneer Village.
All right. So it's I hear the motion and hear the second. I hate to, if we're all in consensus, I'd like to propose a motion to, I guess, amend and extend, I guess, interpretation in the motion to make sure that it's, that we're putting it in our budget, and then it will be, well, let me ask a legal question. Since the project isn't specified yet, and we need to, and we need for the city to give us the proposal, and this is just allocating, or the budget of 50,000. At some point, the board will need to decide to release it if the project is, when the project is presented to us. Does that need to be at a regular or special meeting, or could that be an ad hoc or deciding to release the funds?
If you budget the funds, then they can be spent as necessary.
Okay, and then,
So if the expenditure is approved, then they can be spent when necessary.
okay.
That's
Would
what you're asking.
would there need to be an ad hoc to say, okay, the requirements of the board, of the desires of desires of the funds of the board have been met? Let's allocate it, or is it just?
No, that's a bigger question. If you wanted to make your approval contingent on some sort of terms and conditions, then that would be a separate situation. You would need to have that as part of your motion, whatever those terms and conditions, if you're going to make it contingent on something.
Well, the thing that I'm thinking about, or the thing that I don't want to happen is the funds legally forced from us if the project isn't.
It will be
Doesn't
only
do
for
that.
the
I
bathrooms
yeah.
at the Pioneer Village, 50,000. I made the motion.
Yeah.
It was second. I like it to be called. Take roll call.
Okay. All right. So the question has been called. Is there a consensus to take the vote, or does anybody have any?
No, you've got to have
Yeah, I've
have
gotta
the
have the vote,
vote,
right?
because
Yeah.
you've got a first and a second.
Cool. All right. Let's it went okay. Motion to approve the 50,000 for the support of the project. Treasurer Gallardo,
Yes.
Member Avalos,
Yes.
Member Herrera,
No.
Member Alanis is absent, and Member Rodriguez, yes.
Yeah, motion passes.
Motion passes. Okay,
Thank you. God. This long. Good Lord.
alrighty. Okay, were you understand or specific or
We're
for
done with
that?
that
I
item. We
understand
need
that
to
that
go to the
item's
next
there.
item.
There's no like since that that money's there, there's no legal interpretation that needs to be done for what my question was, right? It was just
No, you've now allocated $50,000 to this project.
okay. I just want to make sure that it's specifically stated that way. Okay.
Next.
Allocated is one. Alrighty, we'll move on to action item 8-.3, consideration and possible action on the Selma Police Foundation grant application for the Selma Police Department Mental Health Wellness Program. Discussion and possible action to review and consider approval of the $20,000 grant request from Selma Police Foundation to continue their mental wellness and performance coaching services provided by Sharp Performance for Selma Police Department personnel during fiscal year 2026-2027. Was there anybody specific to present on that, or nobody was, right?
We'll table it.
No, well, I have the
No.
information for it. I don't necessarily, I can't present for them, but if we can go over the packet, or the PDF.
There's no one for to present it?
No, they didn't.
In the past, if they're not.
No.
Okay.
Who wrote it, Chief?
Yeah, it was a chief who wrote it. If we received and disseminated it, there's nothing that, it would just be our own decision to table or.
That's right. There could be a motion to table it.
Yeah. If we, but we could also decide to take action on it today, correct?
You are authorized to, yeah,
Yeah.
if there's a motion
So what?
to take
then If
action.
you're gonna present it, if you are aware of it. What is Chief wanting? 20,000?
No, I just wanted, well, I wanted to make sure that it's understood or what the grant was coming in for.
Okay.
So the sheet is, or this sheet is what it is. So he wrote a letter to us basically saying what it is and how it's been used before. Pretty lengthy letter, to be honest, but basically what it is this, the program that they use through Sharp Performance is for the mental health and, welfare of the police officers. This program has been used for, I believe they've used it for the past I think it's 3 years. And what it is that they don't have, or he wasn't able to allocate the funding to this year. And he was in search for a grant. So this would be, it wouldn't be something that he was basically requesting it at one time. He said it's not gonna be something that the department's gonna come back for every year to try to get funding for. He found a grant that he wants to apply for that should be able to cover it. However, this year would be the year that they would go without, because that grant doesn't start up and disperse till next year. So for the 2026-2027 year, there was no budget for it, which is why they asked to see if the Selma Healthcare District would pay for, or would grant the $20,000 for that program to be or to continue the services of that program. Yeah, for this year's services, 2026 to 2027, and then his basically his ask is just this year because he has a grant that he's able to apply for but won't be awarded until next year. So that grant will continue this thing. Yeah, and the wellness program basically it was implemented and he said usually the people or the departments who use it, they don't see as much use as we do. So we're 40% of our personnel have been using it, and it's a big thing for them. So going without it, he was basically telling me going without it during the 2026-2027 year will be a huge hit. So that's why he was aggressively looking for the funding to make sure that they had it.
Okay.
The reason I wanted to regardless of they're here or not, I think it's something that, or it's something that's pretty important to the community. So
Let's take it to the public if they need, so we can go ahead and expedite.
can we have any or is there any public comment on this item? No, nothing online. Okay. Questions from the board at all?
Okay, I don't have a problem. It's for our Selma Police Department, for our officers, for our chief, for what they need. I'll go ahead and make the motion for the 20,000.
Alrighty. Okay, it was moved and seconded to provide the $20,000 for the Sharp Performance for police department personnel during the fiscal year 2026-2027. Treasurer Gallardo,
Yes.
Member Avalos,
Yes.
Member Herrera,
Yes.
Member Alanis is absent. Member Rodriguez, yes.
Passes.
We'll move on. Section 9, if there's any board reports that to say at the moment.
There's not.
No? Okay. Any future agenda item requests?
Budget and current financials, it looks like we're kind of pieced together.
Current financial, like a full financial report, right?
Yeah.
I get a financial report. You just haven't got one
Right, if it's not here, we don't have it, so.
because you haven't been here.
You're talking about like a
Like current,
yeah, or a allocation and spending, right? Not just the check register.
right.
Okay. The only other thing that I was gonna do is say that we how we go about doing their financial audits for the fiscal years. Do we have to have an item to request it, or do we just?
Yeah, you need to.
Okay.
That you'll need auditor and
Okay, now those would be an item that I was gonna say. If it needs to be an item to engage with not,
it will
we'll,
be on the
next agenda, okay. Engage with an auditor.
depending if you've done one in.
We have in the last 2 years, but we need to do them for last year.
You didn't do.
Yes. With, or it's a CPA, correct? Other than those two, there's nothing else, just to make sure. All right, and if there's, if nobody's opposed, we'll adjourn at 7:47.